You mentioned drugs, and let's talk about drugs. I love drugs. No, let's talk about drugs because there's one that I am always curious about. Not that I know it by name, but now that you have a new organ, if your body can reject the organs, and there's drugs, as I understand it, that will stop that from happening. Will reject it, no matter what.
Will reject. The body will never accept any organ.
Ever.
Oh. No matter if you got the organ for 30 years.
So you have to take this drug forever that will stop your body from fighting the organ. Yeah. Wow. What is that? One, or is it multiple, or how? What's
it's the first year is rough.
Yeah.
You have to take loads
of it. Okay.
When you're at the hospital, it's stupid the amount of pills that you take. Because the process that what happens to the body after the transplant is like a lot of years the body working in a certain way, and from 1 minute to another they get a new organ. It works completely different than it was. Now my organs have oxygen from nowhere. And have blood, have way more circulation blood circulation that I had before.
Right.
And all the organs first need to adapt.
Right.
They have a massive period of adaptation. This doesn't mean that will happen to everyone. It happened to me.
Just you specifically. You can't talk in general.
To me. I can't talk in general.
Because your body's basically been deprived of oxygen because of your inefficient heart.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden you have a heart that's fully pumping and your organs are like, what the heck just happened? I'm feeling great again. Or I'm feeling terrible again.
I don't know if I told this story when on a previous chapter or to you, but when I was doing the prep for the transplant, you do a stress test. Basically, you run a bike, and they see how far can you push. And the doctor that was doing the exam, he said, you got a great lungs, but your heart is not pumping oxygen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not doing it.
Yeah.
And now that I got the new heart, I understand the difference. Like I understand.
Feel like $1 million compared to it.
It's not yet because I need to train more.
Right.
But I can tell that when you're tired, the recovery is very, very fast.
Yeah.
When I was tired before, I was tired.
Right.
Like,
and
I couldn't recover.
You're exhausted, like crawl into bed tired. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, now that I'm running, jogging, walking, running again, jogging, running, that I can do that before. And the last one I do, I'm mostly in better shape than the first one I do. So it's like I don't get that tired easily.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. It's different. It's impossible to explain how you feel the difference, but there's a massive difference on how the heart responds.
I remember my father having open heart. Well, actually, to rewind it even further, I remember him having angioplasty, and then they put in the balloon, and they, and all of a sudden he just felt, the day after the angioplasty, because they put it in the groin, that's very painful, but so that laid him up a bit, but he felt great after that. No, I'm good, thank you, right now, but I might in a minute. And so that I can sort of understand that. What's your routine on your day-to-day? So if you were to, and do you have, so my routine on Monday through Friday is different than Saturday and Sunday on many levels. I have work, obviously, Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I might get a little sleep in. I maybe have a breakfast that I wouldn't have. I'll typically have healthier breakfast Monday through Friday, and then kind of cheat a little bit on the weekend. Maybe I'll have eggs, or something crazy like that. But what do you do? Is there sort of a routine?
So I have two routines.
Yeah.
And it's very, very determined. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I got dialysis.
Right.
So I wake up at 5. I take a medicine for dialysis, and I rushed over there.
Oh, wow.
Like, I do nothing, just go there. I spent about 4 hours there at dialysis, and I arrived at my house about 10 a.m., something like that, starving to death.
Okay.
Like, starving. And when I arrive, I just prepare a massive breakfast.
Nice.
I usually get eggs with cheese or something like that.
Great.
And I need
Sounds
to
delicious.
have something strong because dialysis drains you the energy.
Literally drains you. I mean,
Literally drains you. And on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, which are the days that I don't have dialysis and I'm able to do exercise, because the days of dialysis, my body, I wouldn't generalize, but my body, it's too tough for me to just. I might probably do it at night. At night I'm feeling okay again, but if I do it, let's say at 7 p.m. when the heat is not that bad,
Mm-hmm.
I will be with stamina for hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to sleep till 2 a.m.
Wow.
So I prefer not to do it, because the following day I prefer just to wake up early and train again.
Right.
So my body works in the mornings.
Now we're I don't know if we covered this, but the reason you're on dialysis is obviously a result of the heart surgery, the heart replacement, and so I don't know if we covered why. And you're obviously now waiting for a donor, and you're now going to have another major surgery in a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
Because, as I understand it, once you have a heart issue, this is a common side effect, right?
I would say common. I would say it is a side effect.
Oh, it is. It just
It
happens.
is a side effect. I know more cases. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen to everyone.
Okay.
I know cases where. So what happens? Technically, what happens is that the kidneys feel the shock when the body has the flow of the blood
Mm-hmm.
through a machine when you don't have the heart in.
Got it.
So that kind of flow, I don't have the technicisms. I
Right.
don't know why. The kidney kind of understands that the body is dead,
Right.
or the body is malfunctioning or something like that. So they stall.
They shut down.
They shut down. Yeah, they shut down, and they cannot reanimate them. Sometimes when you're healing, they wake up. They wait, for example, 2 or 3 months. They should see signs there, like
Oh.
urine,
Right.
and but I know cases that took 9 months to recover
Okay.
and to start working. And the doctors early in time knew that my kidneys weren't going to
They weren't going to wake up.
wake up. Yeah.
Dang. And so now you have to go through this dialysis, waiting for a donor. But while you're doing that, the dialysis is allowing you to have a pretty normal life. You're able to go work out, eat a lot of great things, whatever you want, really.
So
right?
the difference between the heart transplant and the kidney transplant is that the heart transplant you definitely have life risk.
Mhm.
Like if the heart malfunctions,
Yes.
you don't tell the story.
Right.
My kidneys are already dead.
Okay.
However, you can continue with life thanks to dialysis.
Right.
Is dialysis the nicest thing you ever done?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Does it keep you alive? Yeah, very well.
It's crazy.
Are you able to continue with a normal life? Mostly. You are. I am on a active transplant list. I cannot travel,
Right.
and you could travel with dialysis. You need to arrange very well
Mhm.
not to miss any session,
Right.
because you miss any session and
Toxicity, right?
yeah, the body suffers
Right.
a lot. You're gonna suffer, and so you got some flexibility there. if you get the schedule, there are 3 schedules. One is 5 a.m., the other one is 9:30 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is 2 p.m. If you do the 5 a.m., you mostly have the rest of the day ahead.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a bummer. You have to wake up early. You need to drive to the location. You probably get bored at dialysis. I don't know, it keeps you alive.
Yeah, it's important.
And you can tell the story. And in the meantime, you wait.
How far is the dialysis place?
Mm. 5 a.m., 7 minutes from here.
Oh,
It's very
far.
close.
Okay.
Yeah, you know where? It's very close to Home Depot.
Yeah, yeah.
Very,
Over in
very
that area.
close.
Can't you just get a machine on Amazon? No.
There are ways you can do
Oh, you
dialysis.
can?
Yeah,
Jeez.
there are ways you can do dialysis at home.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I want to
yeah,
do that.
I don't think that would be another responsibility.
No,
that,
I wouldn't do that.
no.
No,
All right.
I wouldn't do that. I know people that has done that, but I wouldn't do it.
No.
Especially because you got different ways to do dialysis. You got some. It's not a cath. It's you let's say it's a cath that you got in the arm.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the tubes are connected to the arm.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, I got a cath here.
It's a port,
Kind of
right?
port, yeah.
Kind of port thing.
Yeah. The one that is in the arm is easier to handle
Mm-hmm.
because you just plug it in. So way to say it, technician has to do it.
Right.
But you eventually can learn how to do it. But this one is very hard because you don't even see.
Got
You
it.
need to clean the area. You need to.
Oh yeah.
This is easier to clean, but this one you can't see it. So I would need definitely help from a nurse to do it.
Nice. Okay.
And especially that this cath in the state of California can't be handled by a technician. It has to be handled by a nurse.
Ah. Okay.
So you even have a different outfit for them
Wow.
for the people.
The question I was asking before about your daily routine, I'm also curious. I've seen the pill box, right, that my dad used
Colorful.
to have, the Monday,
Mhm.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm.
Is it like that with you? I mean, how
Yeah.
many pills are you now taking? You were up to, gosh, over 20 before, it sounds like. So
Now
what do you
I
do?
have there are 3 or 4 in the morning depending
Mhm.
the day. That's when I wake up. Then I have probably 8
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So
after that, and then 3 at night.
Jeez. So
And
you're
this is very low because I have had way more.
So you're doing 14 pills a day. I mean, that's still. So there's a lot of maintenance involved in it. But again, you're in a great.
But for example, when I have 8 pills, it's weird because I'm taking, for example, 4 milligrams of a drug. There are 4 pills,
Mm,
so there are
Okay.
4 equal pills, not 4 different
right.
drugs. And then for the cyclosporine, which is the one that basically works under rejection of the heart, I took 75 grams, and those are 3 of 25. So that makes more pills, but it's just one drug
Oh, got it. Okay.
that you need to take.
And
so
that's
the-
all of those are basically the, quieting down your system.
No,
right?
you got
So you don't have rejection.
you got a mix because for rejection I have 2.
Okay.
I got 2. Then you have I'm taking vitamins.
Okay.
I'm taking another one that is for the thyroid.
Okay.
I got another one that is for my cholesterol.
Okay.
I got, I don't know. I take more, but I have no idea for what. I got a list.
Yeah,
and the
I
list
bet.
is
So you've got to
is
follow
big.
that. So it is basically your day is kind of planned out for you in a way because you have to make sure you're maintaining that healthy, you know, activity running. Then you have obviously your maintenance with your pills. So it's just kind of a way of life. And you're probably used to this anyway, I'm guessing, right? Even before you had the heart surgery with your heart issue.
It took me a while to get used to this new pill format.
Right.
Because previously I required to take pills and only in the morning, and now I need to take pills 3 or 4 days times a day.
Okay.
So it got me a bit. So of course there are sometimes I forget.
Right.
But I'm trying to be cautious on that. I know that I can play with that.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't mess around, but you're good with that. Again, like I said, it's.
I'm gonna put this on to avoid noises.
The routine that you have had throughout your life, you're very good about that. And again, it goes back to that question of if I was just knowing me, because I'm kind of harebrained in some of the things that I want to do. I always want to push myself. But again, I was never told that I can't do sports. So yeah,
but
different
you
mindset.
shouldn't put yourself on that position because you probably never had to, and you probably never will.
Yeah, hopefully.
So it wouldn't be fair with you saying that you're not going to be able to do it because you never had to. So why push you? I mean, I born with a condition that made me had that mindset.
Yeah.
And for me to follow the rule is very easy. The medical rule, not other rules, but the medical rule is very easy. And I know that that's going to keep me alive. But it's on that. And I don't see the need of pushing when the doctor tells you can do a half marathon, which is a lot. I know at least 100 people that can't run half marathon.
No, I know. It's not an easy task. And I think, it's funny we're saying that you follow the rules and you've been very good about following the rules. But at the same time, I do think even with, that example earlier, you did break the rules a little bit because you were running. And your doctor, the originator of that surgery, the person who provided that service to you was saying, "What are you, crazy? What's going on?" So you, in your own way, because I think it's a human trait to always take us as far as we can, push it as far as we can. So even though you're good about it, you were sort of saying that, and after he said, "What are you, crazy? You should stop," you did, but unknowingly you kind of were pushing it.
Yeah, but to be able to run again, I had the vouching of a new cardiologist.
Yeah.
Because I had a new cardiologist. It wasn't the scenario where I asked cardiologists until one I got saying yes.
Yeah.
I got my cardiologist. It happened. He said yes.
Yeah.
And he had metrics about other patients that were doing the same.
Right.
So why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah.
I mean, the other guy, even though that he invented the surgery, he didn't mention the metrics. And even though when I tried to explain the guy that I was feeling better running, he didn't listen.
Like, don't do it. Yeah.
He didn't listen. I mean, he just didn't listen.
Yeah.
And it was having a heart condition. The mental challenge is day by day.
Yeah.
You need to wake up, and your objective is to stay alive.
Yeah. Don't die.
Don't die
today.
So you need to do all the things that you need to do to stay alive.
Yeah.
And then you find something that actually puts you in a better position, and a very good source tells you not to do it.
Right.
So the problem there, besides the physical issues that you might get, ends up being on your mind.
Yeah, constantly.
And the battle that your mind has, going through the heart condition and the transplant,
Yeah.
you need to channel that in some point. You definitely need to channel it, because if you I start, for example, previously to a transplant, I wasn't able to run anymore. So what I started to do was started to cook,
Right.
because I was kind of channeling my energy and cooking.
I can't wait to talk about this, because we will. We're going to get into this, but you're cooking next level. So yeah. But anyway,
It's not that. I got friends and even relatives that are way better than me cooking. But I got my thing. But that's the way I found to channel, and I was desperate to channel, because in the moment that you are post heart transplant, you're not able to move.
right.
So the channeling all the feelings that you still got,
Yeah.
it's not easy. You might probably get a psychiatrist. You might probably get a therapist.
Right.
You might probably get friends, family, wherever. You're not that able to express what the problem you have, and it's hard to channel.
I remember when you were texting when you were first coming out of it, and you were unable to talk. You were frustrated. You couldn't wait to get cooking again, and we were joking around about how you could. I thought you'd be able to set up a smoker within the
room,
Stanford room. It's got to be crazy. And you were saying that, I would love to talk a little bit about. You just reminded me of this now. You had the craziest dreams. You were telling me, or not even, they were like real sort of.
So this is what happened. And again, I'm going to talk about something very sensitive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just do a new disclaimer that this happened to me.
Right.
It doesn't mean
else.
that it's going to happen to everyone.
Right.
Or it's going to be the same level.
Right.
But it happened to me.
Yes, very specifically you.
Yeah, me.
And we are not professional medical advisors in any way.
So, what's the situation? When you get a heart transplant, you get open like a chicken.
Yeah.
And
spatchcocked chicken? No, not spatchcocked. That's
you show me. No. So what happens is that the first 2 days, you're basically still open. You're in a room, sanitized room.
Yeah.
Where the sanitized room says chest open.
Got it.
So why, you may wonder?
Yeah, why is that? Because are they trying to get air into the area?
No, because you're in a healing process, and the healing process still can happen bleedings. And if you got a bleeding, it is easier to fix it if you're just open than if you're already.
Gosh, yeah, that's, I see when the disclaimer of this is sensitive. Now I'm thinking of that. That sounds terrible, but it does remind me of a Seinfeld episode where they were watching a procedure, and he had, I think, Mentos, and one of the Mentos went into the heart cavity, the chest cavity. But so you're wide open there, and you're aware, or you were out of it. What was going on?
That's where the sedation comes into place.
Yeah.
So what they do is they drug you.
Yeah.
AF.
Wow.
So you can't move.
So you're like Jim Morrison mid-stage.
A regular day of Jim Morrison. So they put you in a state where you can't move.
Wow.
So the main reason is that if you're able to move, you might probably want to take all the tubes that you got on, or even touch the wound that you have.
Yeah.
So they even tie you to avoid that you harm yourself.
Yeah.
Without knowing, because you're completely out of your mind.
You're out of it.
At that moment. Yeah, you're totally out of it. So when you are sedated, you're proclived to have I wouldn't say happy thoughts. I would say delirium.
Delirium, yeah. You
Delirium.
because I know we haven't really talked in depth about this, but I've been curious, and some of the thoughts were definitely not happy.
No. So I have probably the first 2 weeks
Yeah,
were delirium. I mean, there were moments that I was awake and I was able to interact,
yep,
but not much because I was like piped.
and you couldn't speak.
I couldn't speak because
The trachea.
I had tracheotomy,
Yeah,
and tracheotomy doesn't allow you to speak, but helps you to live. So
living's good.
maybe it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't speak. You're totally mute, and the sedation puts you in a state where you need to you rest.
Right.
And the deliriums that I had were so what happened after 3 days of the surgery?
Yep.
I got pneumonia.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I got pneumonia. So that was the main side effect that I had. So when we are chest open, you're very sensitive to infections.
Yeah, I can.
So and you're in a hospital where loads of
imagine. All the
bugs
infections
are around. So what I got was a pneumonia. So
And this is in COVID too, right? When was it? No, it was a year ago. So
No,
this is
no,
after, it's
COVID was
post-COVID.
nothing to do
yeah,
there.
Yeah, we have to talk about COVID at some point, anyway, as well. But anyway,
so with the pneumonia, basically I got screwed my lungs,
yeah,
and I at the very beginning it was hard for me to breathe.
Mhm.
It was. I also had a tracheotomy, which was a bit weird to breathe, but also the lungs, they were accumulating liquid. They were not cool. Like they were
filling
suffering
up
a
with
lot.
fluid. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I was struggling with my lungs. So the deliriums I had were mostly about breathing bad, breathing like
Oh, so you're like drowning type of dreams.
Like I
type
was-
of thing. Right,
like
right.
feeling that I was next to keep out of my breath, totally short of breath. But there were kind of dreams that were very, very real.
Right.
And it took me a while to realize that they weren't real. Because the main reason that I realized that they weren't real was because I was, for example, let's call them dreamer. I was dreaming that I had, I've been in Italy,
Oh, wow.
I've been
Okay.
in New York,
Okay.
and I've been in Uruguay. In Italy, I was in a city called Sassuolo,
Okay.
which the city exists. Never been there. I don't even root for the Sassuolo's football team.
Right.
I don't even know how the jersey is. I don't
Right.
have it.
Right.
I've never. I
No
don't-
relation at all
No
to this.
relation on
Yeah.
Sassuolo. I can mildly understand Uruguay and New York, but no, I'm not even related with Italy.
Right.
So what my wife is, but not
She
me.
is Italian. Yeah. Yeah.
Not me. And I remember people talking to me in Italian, language I don't speak.
Right. Were you able to respond in these?
I got
lucid dreams?
my friend Visha. Thank you, Visha. Who's was my translator. He speaks Italian.
Got it.
He was there.
Wow. So
I
you
wasn't
made it.
surprised that he was there because he came 3 times from Europe to see me
Oh wow.
after the surgery, and but then I asked Vale, my wife, did we go to Italy?
She's like,
She was stunned. I said, Diego, you never left this room.
right. Right.
What? How come I never left it? We were in New York.
Right.
No, we didn't.
That's crazy.
I thought we were in Uruguay as well. What for?
Yeah. Yeah. That's. Now,
And,
have you seen pictures or images of this place in Italy since then? Have you looked
I had
at?
to Google afterwards.
Yeah.
I
Does-
didn't even know where in the map was.
Did any of that look like what your dream was? Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
because
is that- this was just
I remember
something that you're.
being in a hospital at Sassuolo.
Oh.
A hospital. So I remember a hospital. I can totally describe a hospital
So
by this
no
time.
matter. So was that the same with New York too? Where when you knew you were in New York, but you were in a
I can't
hospital
remember
in New York.
but
Oh.
but I remember clearly
York.
Sassuolo, and it's Sassuolo. I just don't get. And I asked my friend Visha, who is Italian as well, and I got family in Italy, but his family is in Sassuolo. It's in Sicily.
Wow.
And I got another member in Gorizia, which is the north. And Sassuolo is in the middle of the country. I've never been there. Not even have gone nearby.
Wow. That's interesting. And so you're having that. Well, I wanted to go back to the pneumonia, which I know is probably horrible to talk about, but you can't talk, you can't communicate, you're out of it. Were they aware? I mean, I guess your oxygen levels probably went down. They probably have so many monitors on you, but were they aware you had pneumonia?
I was with a ventilator.
And you're on a ventilator.
And the reason why I got a tracheotomy is because you can get a ventilator for about 10 days.
Okay.
So with a tube.
Got it.
Like 10 days.
That's the max.
That's the max.
'Cause then your
Otherwise,
body's
your lungs get harmed.
Oh.
So as I needed more ventilator, because my the oxygen saturation usually is between 96 and 100,
Right.
and I was in 70s or something like that.
Wow.
So they kept me on a ventilator for a long time,
Right.
really long time on a ventilator, like 3 months, probably more.
Way past the 10 days.
Yeah, 3 months.
They just told you you had great lungs. What are they doing? Damaging your lungs here? Or
They got damaged with the pneumonia.
They did get damaged.
Yeah.
With the pneumonia, yeah.
And I had to do tons of exercises on the lungs to recover them.
Wow.
I was really struggling with the breathing.
I bet.
I had moments where the anxiety just got me, and I was like hyperventilating, and I couldn't breathe, and I got even with the pump.
Yeah.
Oxygening me because I was feeling like I was running out of oxygen.
Yeah.
And even though the reading was okay, I just had the feeling that I couldn't breathe. And that was worse because the reading was like okay, but I had the feeling that I didn't have any air.
No, man.
And the reading is fine. Yeah, but I'm not fine.
I feel like this is happening, and it's so like how your mind can play tricks on you. So the
managing
doctor.
the mind it's so difficult.
Oh, I want to talk about that too. The doctors were not able to tell that you were having pneumonia, or were they?
They told me, yeah.
So
they
knew.
never hide them.
No. I mean, at the time. So you're 2 days after the surgery, right? And then you got pneumonia. Is it something where they could just tell, and they're like, "Oh, he's
you're so much sedation."
Yeah.
That you actually can't process.
You didn't, but you're sort of labored breathing while you're in this crazy state of mind too.
That was way after. Way after. At the very beginning, I was with a ventilator, but I can't remember if I had a tube or what. Valeria should know, but I can't remember. So the first 14 days where I was on massive sedation, what I can recall were all the delirium that I had.
Wow.
I had a lot of delirium, very, very painful delirium because they were all related to death. Oh. Like I was thinking like I was going to die running out of breathing. And seriously, like... But then, kind of the last moment, something happened that I woke up.
You wake up,
and I just at the very moment you realize that you're not sure if it was a dream or what it was. And I also dreamed that I was kidnapped.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I had about 10, 12 of these dreams.
Oh, wow.
I documented them because I wanted to remember them. But I got one that I remember that they were transporting me to not sure where, and I got into a place that I can remember I couldn't see, but I heard voices, and something told me I shouldn't trust the people that was there, and everything was making up my mind. Nothing of this was real.
Wow.
So in my mind, I was discussing with people that I thought they were trying to do harm to me. And there was another one, and this was mental. I got my friend, this guy Visha that I already mentioned several times today. The dream was that he was there with me, and he had just traveled to Italy. And get this, and he found a jersey from Maradona.
Whoa. Okay.
My dream.
Yeah.
And he was taking that from the hospital to one of his house in Argentina. Not sure how, because we're in completely different countries.
Right.
And I remember the whole dialogue that he did with a company that did logistics to avoid that jersey got robbed.
It's wild.
And I remember that I got it written, the whole strategy that he did to get this, like sending cars that were bait, to intercepting radio to just put more bait to other cars, so that the car that actually had the jersey
Right.
was safe. And that's all mental.
And so
Never happened that.
The Maradona jersey. How valuable do you think one of those? I mean, was this the original Maradona jersey?
Yeah, it was original.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah.
this has value. So you're thinking this is a prized possession, man. Here you are under the recovery lights, and you're still the admiration you have for Maradona. Love it.